Hello, everyone. For this episode of Kinergene, we're going to talk about finding a rental home, our home, like a rental home in Melbourne, Australia. This is also sort of a review of the company Melbourne Rental Search, who we hired to help us like find a home here, with our and also with our relocation process, mainly with finding a rental here in Melbourne. Okay, so first of all, how we found a rental home, we started with at least a week of research and inquiry. So that includes checking the Facebook forum website. So this is actually the main forum that we followed, my husband and I, to get information about the relocation process. So the group name is the Moving to Australia Tips. So they are quite a very helpful group. And that's where I found the company that we hired as well, to find our home. So that 1 week of research, Facebook forums, like we look at rental websites, Airbnb rates in the area close to my employer, hotel rates, temporary lodging rates, relocation companies aside from the Melbourne Rental Search Group. So we look all of that for that 1 week just to see what we should do, what our options are with regards to our move. So again, we'll look at the Facebook group first. We also Googled other companies as well, but we primarily got our answers from people who did the move, who made the move to Australia, especially recently. Next is the rental search and applications. So these are the two websites. The main website that we actually use is realestate.com.au. We created a profile, our account in realestate.com.au, but you can look at properties, either close to your employer if you want it close there, or you could look at the other suburbs in the area, provided transportation wise, it's easier to get to your workplace, right? So we pretty much the way we search for things is that our maximum distance is that for commute is 30 minutes. So whether we live in the suburbs, as long as it's easier to get to my workplace and it's within 30 minutes, one way travel, um, it's going to be part of our option. And toapply.com.au is another website where you actually apply. So even though you find a rental property in realestate.com.au, sometimes the application, when you apply for that rental property, they will ask you to complete an application either through realestate.com.au or to the toapply.com.au. Regardless, though, if you make a profile for both, it's best. The initial creation of your profile, it takes a bit of time with all the paperwork, but once you get it done and completed, any other like future other like application of other more rental places, it gets easier. All you have to do is apply to each of them, and then you just have to like answer like a couple questions or something. But it's just the initial creation of your account takes time because of the paperwork and gathering documents. But after that, once you applied to one and once you've completed your profile and updated it, it gets easier. Okay, so these are the two main websites. Melbourne Rental Search. So from the Facebook group again, we found this company, Melbourne Rental Search. There's other companies in Australia, and you could use. There's other companies that are nationwide, all over Australia. But we also look at Google reviews, Facebook reviews. So we've looked at everything. And aside from the Facebook group, right, we look at their website, we look at the other people's testimonials, and we found that this team seems too good to be true. Their reviews in Google was amazing, also on Facebook. So we were like, okay, like this sounds good to be true. I've sent an email. I've contacted them actually, and then once I contacted them, to get the process, to get the ball rolling out, just to see the prices and if there's any other extra expenses or extra fees. There wasn't really any of that. They're pretty transparent. Of all the companies that I've seen, they have the most transparent prices. They actually have their packages up front in their website. So I sent the email to Simone, which is I'm not sure if she's one of the main founders or if she's just working in this company, but I should have looked up their list of team, but I didn't. But the one who responded to my email when I first sent them one was Simone. And that was on October 14, 2022. And she literally responded the same day. And in that response, she asked us to complete this a survey of exactly what we want over wants and needs. And then um, the packages, by the way, so if you look at this link over here, melbournerentalsearch.com packages, so these are the list of the packages available in their website. And then so we chose the relocation package. We initially just wanted the express package, or actually the executive package, but there were a lot of things in the relocation package that we liked that is not available in the executive package. And that includes the having someone to pick us up from the airport. Um, since we're moving here in a 482 visa, and most people usually, if they're moving here for work and staying longer, they usually bring a ton of their stuff from home, right? So it was good to we didn't want to have to worry about finding vehicle to take us to our rental home or hotel or wherever it may be, because we knew right off the bat that we have like at least 12 luggages and or boxes with us in total, and then just fitting it all in one taxi is just not possible. So we made sure that we decided to go for the relocation package, mainly for that reason, and also because we wanted their team to help us review the lease agreement and to help us navigate, agreements when it comes to like renting properties in Australia. We just wanted not to be, stressed out with our relocation, especially we're already gonna be so tired after a long flight. So that's what the package that we chose, relocation package. But if you have more time and all that, you can obviously look at the website, look at the packages, and choose which one is good for your situation. So this is the information about the relocation package. I had to cut this. It's actually more. This is just not this. You have to go to this website, to that page, and it will tell you exactly everything that's included in the package. There's more in this website, but you have to take a look at the website to actually view all of it, including assistance with utility and water connections. To be honest, it was the most convenient, the most smooth move we've ever done. When my parents moved to Canada with us kids, it was quite a shit show. It was such a different experience than what I've experienced working with a relocation company, Melbourne Rental Search. This is so much like smooth. We didn't stress about anything. They made our transition, our move here in Australia, really like as stress free as it can be. So again, October 14 was when we sent an email to Melbourne Rental Search, same day response from Simone, and we completed the survey right away. So this is the online survey that's available on their website. They will also send you a link in their response email. So again, there's more to this. This is just what I screenshot from the website. So the survey we completed and sent back on October 15, 2022, to the day after. Um, and then October 18, we received our email back with our first property shortlist. We received that, and we've right away applied to some of the rental properties. What Simone also did is review their application to make sure and actually give us recommendations and great advice as to how we can secure a property fast and how we can really make ourselves look good on paper, especially since we don't really have a credit here in Australia yet, right? So, and we don't have a ton of referees. So they really made help us on how to make our application look good, and also make us really as renters or potential tenants that um, property owners or that would like us to that would like to choose us as their tenants. So right off the bat, it's very fast. And then October 22nd, we then receive responses from property managers. And then we also, in this stage, we confirm our wants and needs. So even though we complete the survey, once we look at the list of properties and which one we could actually get to and the prices that we want, we realize, after going through different places, we realize there's what we have are really need what we really need and what we really want. So initially we were applying for townhomes, houses, and apartments, or condominium apartments. But then once we receive responses that we actually look good on paper after that, after the help of Simone, and that we can actually, be able to secure a rental bed, like the one that we were able actually get that we didn't expect to get. We thought we were just gonna get a rental. We might not like it, but because of the rental crisis here in Melbourne, we might just have to take it and move later on. But we've actually received a lot of good responses from property managers. So because we have a ton of options at that point, at least that's how I felt. We then confirm our wants and needs. So we told Simone, like, we realized we wanted to stay in a place or rent a place where there's a gym, a pool, ideally an indoor pool, and then a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment. And we also wanted in this specific price range. So initially our price range was quite low, because we didn't know how much we could actually afford. And then Simone gave us a rough estimate of how much a 2 to 3 bedroom place in Melbourne. So if you wanted to stay near CBD area, it might be quite expensive and smaller. Or if you are okay with going to the suburbs area, and she gave us information as to which suburbs are better to stay, as like a family, um, like in our situation we have 2 kids, so we wanted to make sure we have their schools nearby. you know uh, the commute will be good, so it's within 30 to 45 minutes commute to work, and it's not a very complicated type of commute. So once we've identified all our wants and needs and confirmed that this is what we wanted, she was able to then give us a better list. And then we also decided that our priority as well is um, proximity to my workplace, on top of that. So because we wanted proximity to the workplace, we decided to increase our the price of the rental that we can get. She was still able to get us a price within, I mean, places that are within the price range, but you know the price range. But then a little bit, like, we didn't actually went over our max price range. Like, we were still able to increase it, but then not pay too much of our like rental here. So we even though we gave her like up to, like, I think we gave her up to 620 or 625, I can't remember now, but we're not paying our max budget. We are actually paying right now 525 per week. So it's pretty much very close to our initial um, price, like a rental price range that we gave her. So, she will give you the price that you want or that's best for you, like not close to your maximum, but she will also give you close to your maximum, provided it's a really reasonable and decent property. Like, I'm so happy with the place that we're in right now. I can't imagine, staying somewhere that I will not like. I can't believe that we're in this place, in this rental apartment right now, actually. So that's the date, the timeline. October 25th, we got our first approval right away. This is really interesting because we did not realize that we get our approval right away. We expected to be actually um, going to fight off other people. So first approval, we got approved, but it wasn't our first option. Our first option was a different property that was a 3 bedroom one. 3 bedrooms. It's a bit bigger, big balcony. It is in the first floor, but we didn't really care. And then it has a gym, a pool. So that was our first choice, but we got approved for our second choice, which is located in a. So it is in a high-rise apartment. Still has the gym, still has the pool. It didn't have a balcony, but we didn't mind. But it was a better, it's a good view. It is a little bit smaller. It has 2 bedrooms only, but we know that we can work with 2 bedrooms because we only need 2 bedrooms right now, anyways. Um, as long as the layout is not bad. Um, but we didn't like how narrow the hallways is to get to your main living area in your apartment. There's this narrow hallway, and then you get to this powder room or a bathroom actually that is in that narrow hallway, and then the laundry area is there, and then you turn on your left, and then we got this the big common area dining and living room setup, and then the 2 rooms, and then the master ensuite. So we got approved for that one, but then we wanted to see and wait for our first choice to, if we see if we can get approved for that one. So with that, unfortunately, when you get approved, you got the 24 hours, I think, to respond, to confirm that you would want it, to accept it. So then we made a decision to see if we should risk losing it or, you know, take it. So after careful, discussion with my husband, the one that we get approved for, it's good enough, but we got approved really fast that I think we can take the risk of losing this first approval, and then for sure that we can find other properties. Unfortunately, we were too late for our first choice because apparently we didn't get a response right away from that property manager, but they were actually already have someone that they pick, but they were waiting for the completion, the to confirm the rental agreement from the other applicant. So, but they didn't give us that information right away. So we lost the one that we got approved for. Um, but then we are now then back to the drawing board. October 27, we received a new list of rental properties and we applied for them as well. So we applied for them. I think we've applied for a couple, but we were really, they're one of the properties we really, really like. And then, so we wanted to make sure that we applied right away. So we applied right away for that. And then the next day, we received the approval. So the property that we actually like, that we wanted as our first option for the second list of properties that we received from Simone, we got approved for it. This time, right, it is our first choice for this round of application. We were so excited. We were so happy. And then, yeah, so it was definitely like, we couldn't believe how fast we got an approval for. And then the next day after that, at 29, Simone connected with the previous tenant to see if he can buy what he have for sale in the apartment. So Simone is the one who viewed the property, created a video for us, a walkthrough video, and that includes walkthrough from the outside as well, because one of the property that she showed us in the walkthrough is that when we enter, there's a few steps before we reach the elevator. So, and we know we're gonna have a pram with us or a stroller with us, so we want to make sure it is accessible, right? So she starts the video, like her walkthrough video, from the outside of the building, going inside the elevator to the hallway, and then she also included the outside of the building, like in the back, and even like even she'll include the gym and the pool as well, or the other amenities. So during that walkthrough, she met with the tenant at that time. Mitch, and then he was like still moving and packing, but he was selling some of his stuff like his fridge, his washer, dryer, and cutleries and all that. So she provided images and her personal opinion, if what the previous tenant was selling were reasonably priced. So she made sure, 'cause some of the in the list were kind of expensive, but she told me like, oh, for this brand, it made sense. This is an expensive brand. It's still reasonable, because it came with this or that. Because if you have to buy a new one, um, you can buy a cheap one that is this price from Kmart or what have you. So she gives you her thoughts on the matter, like unbiased opinion. She'll give you like, you can get something like this in cheaper in Kmart. Don't know the quality, but if you choose this one that he has, this is the brand of it, and this is the normal retail price is this, and he's selling it for this price, and she thinks it's reasonably priced. So we gathered that the price, they were pretty great, and the convenience also of not having to buy them, because sometimes, actually most times, there may not be any fridge, a microwave, a washer and dryer in the rental apartment. So, and we didn't want to have to. We know that we're not gonna have a car for a bit. So we know that if we can save time, and they're pretty decent. Um, they were really brand new still. Like, they're not old fridge, not old washer and dryer. They were really in good condition. They're still like, they're still new-ish. So we didn't mind, purchasing it from the previous tenant. Also, so our overall experience. So I highly recommend the Melbourne Rental Search. We are very satisfied of their service, efficiency, and for being our best advocates to ensure we are well taken care of and to really have a smooth transition our relocation experience. The package we chose also include picking us up from the airport, reviewing the contract or lease agreement, ensure utilities are set up and so we are move-in ready when we get home. They also ensured that the place is clean, so we literally just move in and put away our stuff. You can also do groceries and buy furnitures or like um, beddings and more prior to your arrival, and they will ensure that it will be in your apartment. So they'll give you an address where to deliver all those things. Like, they will tell you, she told me that you can download the Woolworths app, or any groceries or Kmart, and then she will have it delivered in her place, and she will make sure that it will be in the apartment. She makes sure that the apartment is clean. So we were moving here November 23rd, and then but on Monday, November 21st, I believe, she visited the apartment the first day of our contract, which is a Monday. So she made sure she checked the apartment, make sure it's clean, like in tip top shape, and then she checked that the utilities are connected, like the water, the heater, the gas, everything, the internet even. She made sure that And usually when you book all these things, they might ask for a phone number. So she gave us her phone number so we can get all this sorted out, and then. Because we also purchased the beds and the mattress, because they were really clean. I think the previous tenant was really a clean person, it looks like. But she said, "Do you want us to?" And then we realized that we had delayed in our flights. We got stuck in Sydney for a bit, and she realized that we were gonna be coming in Melbourne like later at night, and then we are gonna be so tired. So she, while we were stuck in Sydney, she was in contact with us, asking us, "Do you want us to get you bedding some Kmart? She can collect it like, or other toiletries that we might need." So she would actually go get it for us to make sure that when we do move here, everything is done and we can just lay down and rest. So she was willing to do all of that, and we were like, we're fine. We still have a few things with us that we have with us, so we didn't really need a ton. And then we can just grab some, toilet paper once we reach, because like Coles weren't closing until 9, I believe. So but she was willing to pick up all those stuff for us, and then she's also affiliated with some of the, I don't know if they're affiliated, but they have discount codes for if you buy furnitures in other places. She'll tell you exactly if they're expensive type of brand or expensive type of stores, but she'll tell you you can wait until they have the Black Friday deals, and then you can use that discount code. And that discount code, you can use even though you've already moved here. So it was honestly the move, the smoothest transition we've ever had. I was 18 when my parents and us moved to Canada in Toronto, and that experience was so stressful. We didn't even have an apartment that we were staying with other family members, and this so much better. I was impressed, very impressed. So if you don't know anyone here in Melbourne and you think you needed help, hire the Melbourne Rental Search, whether it's only for the express package, just to do your walkthrough videos. Honestly, you don't need to view a lot of properties. If you hire them, they'll tell you exactly what they think which area you should be looking at based on your situation. And then, like for example, finding a place like a rental property, a 2 bedroom that we chose right now. Normally she prefers 3 bedroom for us for the size of our family, but sometimes a 2 bedroom will work, especially because our baby is still sleeping with us in our room. So she'll tell you this is a 2 bedroom, but it is in the smaller side. So she will, help us weed through the list to make sure that we're only viewing properties that is good for us, that is not a waste of time for any of us. So she'll tell you like, yeah, this looks, big on in pictures because pictures can lie too, right? But to be honest, this is actually a small apartment, and we've looked at similar, you know, units in the same apartment before, and they are quite small. Even the layout is good, but they're smaller. So we decided to like get rid out those options and then choose the ones that she recommend as, yeah, 2 bedroom, but they're on the bigger side as opposed to the other ones. So I say that we really made a good decision. And to be honest, Airbnb, they were so expensive. It would cost us 4 grand, 3.5 to 4 grand, um, to rent for the month, as opposed to have a rental like 2,200. Plus just hire them for hire Simone and have everything sorted and not have to move again. um, and then keep in mind, if you're coming from the UK, for example, or Canada or the US, the once you convert to Australian dollars, they actually are not that expensive. Of course, Canadian and Australian dollars are pretty almost on par, really. But it was still, overall, I still say that we were able to save money by hiring them and save, it's not stressful. Imagine us, having to rent an temporary lodging. It could be an option for us if the property was not ready right away. um, but having Simone around, I think if we did end up in temporary lodging, it still would be a very comfortable move, considering that she did the majority of the hard work. We just reviewed the packages, make sure that we agree to it, put in our paperwork, our initial application, and the rest is pretty good. My recommendation is that once the property gives you information, a welcome package, read all through that, because they might have a different rules about when you should be moving in, when you should be delivering your furnitures and stuff. Because for example, in our place, there is a rule that you can only do the move from Monday to Friday at a certain time. So if you do order something from IKEA, for example, make sure that you don't have it delivered on a weekend, and you have to notify the property manager or the building manager right away, because they have to set up the elevator and all that stuff. Um, so read that prior to, like, whatever that you get from the property manager. Read that welcome package and make sure that you know exactly like what you're supposed to do once you land here. That's pretty much it. This is a positive review, and you can probably get an idea that it was a positive one based on my previous content. But yeah, um, contact Melbourne Rental Search. This is Chin again. Take care. Bye now.